when life is at its worst, when life is at its most difficult, often what you see for many people, you see many people at their very best, that people step in and step up in incredible ways to be a blessing. What you see is love in action. And when you see it, man, haven't you been proud of what you've seen? I mean, the Cajun Navy just showing up and people just helping each other unselfishly, and just all the ways we've seen. It's love in action. It's rooted in love. It's people who care, who want to make a difference. Haven't you been proud to see that? Isn't that the way that God has put us here to live? Not just when things are bad, but all the time. And our scripture today is from Ephesians, and Paul is writing this letter, and it's really a prayer. It's a prayer for people to find this rootedness in love. That being rooted in love is the heart of it. That Paul's prayer is that they find a Christ connection, that they find a connection in the love of Christ. That Christ might be rooted in their hearts. And what is the essence of the nature of Christ? It's all about love. God's love made real for us. That's who Christ is. And so when you think about this passage, you know, I pray that you may be rooted and grounded in love. I like what William Barclay, who's a commentary on this passage, he says that Christ takes up permanent residence in your heart. Think about that. That's really what it means to be rooted in love. That Christ takes up permanent residence in your heart. You ever seen a tree an old tree that has a complex root system, and you can see how roots have spread out, and that tree is just thick, and the root system is thick, and you know that tree's been there a while, and it's not going anywhere. It's not going to be blown about by the winds of change. It is rooted. And Paul is saying, that's what I pray for you. That you'll find that kind of connection through Christ in your life. That you'll be rooted in love. That root system would take hold of your heart. You know that we believe that God is at work, that God's grace is at work in everyone. In everyone. God's grace is nudging you and leading you and provoking you and pulling you and leading you and guiding you toward this Christ connection. We believe that grace, before we're even aware of it, that grace is at work drawing you into this connection with Christ in ways that you can't even begin to imagine it. That God is leading you into this Christ connection. And when you receive this Christ connection and you invite Christ into your heart, Christ takes up residence there in your heart. So much so that it's not just a Sunday thing. It's not just an Easter thing or a Christmas thing. It is a permanent residence. It's a permanent connection. And Christ begins then to shape and mold you in ways that are so much more than you ever thought you could be.